It's September 4th, 23. Again, you know, I went up to Hartville. I played my tapes. People start scattering. And more, okay? I go to Dairy Queen. Get my client and I something for lunch. I go to pull out. And some ladies are walking in and said, they were human trafficking her before. That John better be taking care of this because we all know they made fun of him. I know that. Okay? And they said that Michelle even told them to cut it out. That was her across the parking lot, wasn't it? The young blonde girl walking off, way off in the distance, screaming at these people. They better not say a word to her. Seen her out today. These people better not say a word to her. They already confessed all the tapes before were them and not her. And they actually called that guy an idiot for doing it. And that idiot laughing at all of us for it. And they photoshopped everything on her. The other girl went, she's some kind of nurse. She said, I know, and these people better not say anything else to her. Those ladies were talking that it was Michelle. Told everybody, cut it out. Now, they have bragged since the beginning. In the first month or two of the case, I told you that old man walked up to me. I had woke up with a bruise on my leg, throwing up again. Okay? Go down to Walmart 62, an old man by Wood Forest in front of the investigators and cops. For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. I'm like, who are you? He said, you try to leave Dave, I'll list your child molester. I'm like, who are you? And then he says, you know that bruise on your leg? And I said, yeah. He said, I use sodium pentothal. Sodium pentothal is a lethal outlaw drug that you actually lie under. You'll admit to Pearl Harbor and a spy flick movie stuff. If you actually survive, it's lethal. It's outlawed for years. Okay? He said, you know what you told me? No, I've never talked to this man. I did not have this man in my home. He broke in my home, picked my bedroom door, and stuffed me with a date rape drug. Told me to say this stupid lie. That you were wearing this one nightgown, you bent over him properly once, and they accidentally seen your butt. You had a life of pain because of it. That would be a moment of embarrassment. He said, and you try to leave Dave, I'll list your child molester for that. David hired him. Okay? Got away from him. Went home to a legally bugged house within the first month or two. Okay? Dave always wore the grandma nightgown down to my knees, underwear, and a housecoat when the grandkids were over. I know that. Leggings, sweater, and a housecoat when the grandkids were over. I know that. I said, besides the grandma nightgown down to my knees and some laces, I just replaced all those other nightgowns this last year. It had been my 50th birthday, and I treated myself. Okay? He said, I know that. Okay? I said, one time years ago, I was wearing the grandma nightgown, underwear, and a housecoat. We were video chatting. And I bent over the TV to fix a DVD player, and you were telling me how to fix it. I said, and they only went, ooh, Grandma, what's on the back of your legs? Varicose veins. Here, hold Pap while I get changed. They only made fun of the back of my knees. I know that. And I had the grandma nightgown, underwear, and a housecoat on. I know that. What's wrong with this? He changed it. Just like everything else. Like the investigator said, we found out some old ass was drugging up Karen before. See, where those old ladies, that John better take care of this. We all know they were human trafficking her before. Why aren't they in jail? That's why June 7th, 23, Walmart 62, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, Lighthouse Tabernacle makes fun of the FBI. FBI agent John fell for the stunt I tasted before. Oh, come on now. That agent actually fell for that? You're kidding. Is that what's going on? John actually fell for it. FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before? Ha, 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 ha. Is that why they got away with it? Because FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before? Ha, 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 ha. Got it? That's how not funny it is. Told you, November 1822, one of the drug dealers, Eric, come in Walmart 62 again, tape and audio, by the front door by the hair salon, screams it out, 2 to 6 p.m. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people turn on me, fell for it. Ha, 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 ha. Well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad. And they still fell for it. November 24, 22, the nurse at Mercy Medical in the emergency room taking care of me, talking to the Lady Canton officer. We all heard that Eric make fun of us for falling for this. He said, well, you know, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. Okay? Think about that. They all know about John bullying me. They all know that he told on me the night before. November 6, 22 at Trinity Gospel. Karen's okay anymore. We found the protected custody case. Told all these people to stay out of it, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, and the guy said, well, you know, the agent that called her back, it was verified by officers that he told on her before she called him back. Oh, my Lord. And they walked out. April 15th, 16 of 23, or March 15th, 16 of 23. My car's black, my phone's tapped. Danny's talking to Gabe off in the distance and said, I called my dad. He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete up there doing all those things. And he said, and taping her unaware, and he has her framed. Pete doesn't have anything admissible. It's a Fourth Amendment over the house. Okay? And he said he's seen an agent up at that church asking threats on her life, and he said he even spoke to him. So where I told that agent, somebody told on me the night before, and he called me a liar, was already verified by officers that it was him. Everybody knows that agent told on me. That was so cruel to me on the phone. See, then it comes down to the point, how could you fall for it? It was done by the drug cartel and a drug scam. Okay? Do you realize how many people in front of investigators came up and were bragging they were the causes of the bruises I had, and I was throwing up, and I lost 70 pounds after I called FBI, and I had lost 18 before I called them. Told you by the second week up there, I was throwing up, dizzy, heart racing, bruises all over me, severe swollen, personal infection. They were human trafficking me by the second week. Do you realize how evil these people are? I have nothing to do with Dave's adulterous affairs. He wants to go off with whores, go off with whores. You leave me out of this. You just divorce me and move on. To actually have your wife that you're married to, and he's still touching me. This is where it's disgusting. He's still touching me after he's letting other men rape me. Do you realize how big of a pig he is? You know, I went to Altman Family Physicians, and I said in the summer of 18, I was seen for migraine, headache, dizzy, heart racing, almost passing out, severe bruising, I couldn't explain, and a severe swollen personal infection. Yes. I said I found out my ex-husband was having me drug beat and raped, and he was still touching me. She looked at and scowled up and faced at her, your ex-husband's a vile, sick animal. And you're lucky to get him away from him alive, because when they get that bad, you usually don't get away from him alive. Now, I want you to think about that. How vile, sick animals these people are. Nobody has a right in your home. I've talked to Officer Reinhardt in Louisville. I have talked to the Portage County Sheriffs. I have talked to other sheriffs. Nobody has a right in your home but police and agencies in a protected life case with statements. Like Officer Reinhardt said, even the FBI would go to jail outside a protected life case with statements. It's illegal to. It's even illegal to look and listen. So where those agents on a recorded line broke federal constitutional laws. Girls were walking in Acme yesterday, and they said they better take care of those two agents for laughing at her, for her not realizing that they were human trafficking her. We're talking about that. Yeah. They need to. Other people have complained about them. They sold videos of them mocking me. See, where I called that agent back, I told him somebody told on me the night before. He called me a liar. It was verified by officer. It was him. Okay? I told him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle, start screaming about a camera above the bench. I don't know. You don't know if there's a camera above that bench? You better say you're lying or I'll arrest you. Okay? I said, well, he tried to kidnap me before, you liar. He's a known kidnapper. I'm describing a serial killer in the area, works with the human traffickers, and he's calling me a liar. I want you to think about that. They know what he looks like, and I'm describing him. And he's calling me a liar. Was there a camera above that bench? I said, I don't know. And he's like, you say you're lying, I'll put you in jail, fine, whatever. Then he bullies me into more false statements under threats of arrest. Then the guy yells out, well, we could always use Pete's weird with your self-tape. It's a shower scene. It's a shower scene. Okay? And he starts giggling. Stop. She doesn't know. I said, what are you talking about? I don't even know who Pete is. It's that bad. They're laughing at me for my stalker and my rapist. And he's human trafficking me and running a scam on me. And he's the one that's been leaving marks on me. And they're laughing at me because he'd been using amnesia drugs and I didn't know what he'd been doing to me. And they're laughing at a human trafficking victim. And then they yell out something about Pete again. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know who Pete is. Okay? They're laughing at me because I don't know who this man is. And I don't know what they're talking about. He said, he said, why would the FBI help a person like you? I said, they're going to try to kill me. So? They have tried to kill me. So? They're cops. And they're showing me? Give me a real reason. Well, my brother-in-law worked under Dick Cheney. Described him. He actually was CIA. He said, fine, I'll list you informant. I'm going to open an account with $5,000 a month in it. You'll have it to live on when you move out. I'll pull you out if it gets too bad. You'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally dated against you again, and only for you, and only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back to the traffic ticket, even when you tell. And you can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. He said, and you'll have that money to live on. And then threatened me if I told, so I'd be too afraid to ask for help. They said he's December 2nd, 22, and Wendy's Alliance said he stole the money on the first day. He fed me to a drug cartel. People think that he got paid off, and other people said he got paid off. He probably did for him to commit such heinous crimes. He committed obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence, tampering with witnesses, embezzlement, acknowledge an accessory to having somebody human trafficked and drugged and raped. On a recorded line. Okay? March 2nd to the 3rd, 21. Outside 8 to 10 o'clock at night, they're breaking with the neighbors. They put 2 clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. And then March 13, 21, I'm at Mercy Medical. The lady comes in and told the nurse and a guy came in. The only thing they had her on was adjusting herself. The guy said that's sick. Said, no, it's actually really funny. She just simply wiped off water with clothes on. They didn't have anything else. She just brushed it off. The guy said that's sick. She said, no, it's really funny. They didn't have anything else. Then all of a sudden they said, you touched yourself, you exposed yourself, you touched yourself, look weird. Well, that's not wiping off water with clothes on. I thought, well, they put my head on somebody else's body. It's photoshopped. Well, they play with you. Okay. So if you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you're undressing. You touch yourself, it looks weird, but not weird. You could be putting yeast infection cream on. Or did you get undressed, and it sounds like washing. Got undressing out in the shower. Showering, right? I walk outside to smoke. She figured out what they did, laughing at me in the dark. May 12th, 22 at Bubba's Restaurant. They found a tape of those boys emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22, KFC in Belden. The shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. Okay? March 24th, 22, 1:30, they admitted to frame me, 3 apartment buildings for me. A little white guy's getting a big guy. How? You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. I know. I wish we wouldn't have done it. Those people even raped her. Okay? February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory, a Latino guy in front of my one client came up and said, I see her out today. And the girl said, none of this is funny. He said, I know. I wish I wouldn't have drugged her first and told her to say it. Okay? People ran in to save a lot out of their houses on 6th Street, screaming at the postman. We all heard it. January 1922, the Department of Disability, they had told them I was drugged and told to say it before. December 9, 21, at a Oakland apartment on Cleveland Avenue, they told him everything was drugged at 4 p.m., that everything was drugged and photoshopped. All the tapes before were them and not her, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here to see if someone will stop them. They don't think they're stoppable. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force actually worked the case. There's only 4 or 5 volunteers, can't found him, and investigators. We always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so we never said a word. By Christmas of 21, there's investigators in there. We're mad that man knew everything they did to her before and didn't say a word, and it's some guy named Eric trying to help him get away with it, and we don't know who he is yet. Okay, November 18, 22, Walmart 62. Eric comes in by the hair salon, 2 to 6 p.m., screams out all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to say it, my idea to do it. For all these people turn on and they fell for it. Well, the guy says to him, well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. He said, I know it's that bad, and they still fell for it. November 24th, 22, Mercy Medical, the nurse taking care of me, to the Lady Canton officer. We all heard that Eric make fun of us for falling for this. Nobody better say a word to her again. And the lady officer said, well, you know, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. Okay? May 25th, 21. Wendy's in Louisville, they were talking of the church people breaking in before, drugging her, telling her they were to molest her stuff. That's not funny. Dave had several girlfriends up there. One of them was a heavyset blonde girl, drove a blue car. Mike seen her drive around the block. I was working on Fairlawn Street, the street over there, at the Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, between 3 and 6 p.m. There's drug dealers from Ravenna at the end of the street. She's screaming so loud, my neighbor Amy heard it clear into her apartment the street over. Are you crazy? You can't enter a drug confession. Well, we just found out they drugged her and told her what to say before. Okay? They admitted it in 21. 8/9/21, the apartment building foreman, second close offense, a lady and little girls live there. Now, Dave defends me in the protective custody case. Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids, you wouldn't hurt anyone, you're good to everyone, no matter who it is. I taped him. So did the police. Defends me several times. Where I was getting sick on his drinks. He was roofing me too. And supposed to have told me to say something. So they got 4 or 5 neighbors together. And they made a police report. 1295 Fairlawn, little white lady screamed at him, talked to several people in 21. That's why June 7th, 23, Walmart 62, 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning by the front bathrooms. Lighthouse Tabernacle makes fun of FBI. FBI agent John fell for the stunt on tapes before. Oh, come on now. That agent actually fell for that. It was only a stunt. A very satanic one. You're kidding. That agent actually fell for stunt of tapes before? Is that what's going on? FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before? Ha, 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 ha. Is that why they got away with it? Because FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before? Ha, 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 ha. July 9th, 23, Trinity Gospel. Women are sitting right behind me and my client. Okay? Admit to selling the login to the case, made a ton of money off of it. Make fun of retired Judge Pete, how he had no authority to be in my home and he's going to go down for it. And they made a ton of money off of it. Okay? The FBI wouldn't dare fix this after what one of their agents did. They dared him. You know, I thought SWAT teams would have got him. People have looked at me as the FBI afraid of them. See, that's where those agents opened my case under fraud. They told me they would protect me, pull me out if it got too bad. They laughed at me for being human trafficked. See, the night before, that agent was up at Apostolic Church of Barberton, told Paul Paymer. Dave told Danny he talked to him when I walked off. Ladies came up to me. He knows she's being drugged, beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. Can you imagine an agent saying that? I go in and I sit down. And They come in and say it again. And they said if she was going to be faking she was sick and faking singing, well, when grandma was screaming, he was going to turn her back over to him. He wasn't going to help her. So him opening that case with money and immunity, he stole it. He already told people he wasn't going to help me. Dave, come in and let's go. And that threatened my life all the way home. He opened it under fraud, told the police to keep an eye on me and not to help, and let the drug cartel steal people, sell them, kill people here, and let them abuse the hell out of me and sell videos of it while he stole them for him at money. He has stole over $295,000 from the Witness Protection Program. Everybody that's got the login, it's the drug cartel. That Bill from the Freemason, or Will, because William is Bill, he's been paying people. He admitted he was paying people to follow me around in 18. He's part of the drug traders, human trafficking. He's admitted to other people that he was part of the people drugging me, beating, raping me, before covering me with bruises, reason I was throwing up, headache, dizzy, and a severe personal infection. He was part of the human traffickers. Don't take his blood money. They have stolen 1,072 children from January to May of this year alone out of Ohio without the women. He's a serial killer. With that little kid in Coles yesterday, we all know no one's safe anywhere. Nobody's safe anymore. We all stay together. Nobody walks off because nobody's safe anywhere. Good. Teach your kids that. There's serial killers in the area. The big truck guys were back last night. They're human traffickers. I'm not a Chicken Little screaming the sky is falling, but when 1,072 children get sold for sex slaves and to be murdered, and that's where they're giving these people blood money to follow me around harassing me. They think it's funny drug cartels are breaking in people's homes, running human trafficking scams off of them. The FBI thinks it's funny human trafficking people. Because, you know, they sold the videos, like all kinds of people have complained the FBI made fun of her for being a human trafficker and her not understand what is happening. No, they're date rape drugs. Does the FBI not know what roofies are? That you're sleepwalking? I've talked to sheriffs about them. Those amnesia drugs are so bad, they could have drugged up the people to take down the towers, and they didn't know what happened to them. Or didn't know they killed everyone. He said that's how they they take people, and they willingly go with them, and they don't know what happened to them. You're under somebody else's control for 4 to 6 hours. They were breaking with the case with the amnesia drugs they were using. They could control anyone. My coworker, Dar, she got taken from a bar. One of her twins had died, and she was grieving really hard. And her friends took her for a night out and got a babysitter for the other twin. They said she went to take a drink. She started acting a little happy. And eventually a group of people walked up. She was talking normal, acting fine. She eventually left with them. She found herself in a puddle of pee. She got home. She's sick. She's throwing up. She's dizzy. Okay? All right? 2 months later, she went to the doctor, and they told her she's pregnant. She's like, how can I be pregnant? I have not had sex with anyone. She said, it's not that I don't love my son, but I don't know what happened to me. My neighbor, Mike, came up to me about 1.5 years ago. I got a problem. I don't know how I got home. I'm like, go sleep it off. He's like, you don't understand. I've been sitting there for hours. I can't figure out how I got home. I'm like, go sleep it off. He's like, I got a worse problem. I got $80 in my pocket. I'm like, check your bank. He gets on his phone. He's like, I took 100 out. What was in the box with mustard? And how did I change my shoes? I'm like, oh my God, they roofied him. He found out a few months later in the bar. He told everybody he was an astronaut, talked nice to other people, and told everybody else to F off. He tried to tell me he was a New York cop. I'm like, go sleep it off. He was really sick the next day, too. It's not funny that the drug cartel are breaking in private homes, stalking them, running sextortion scams on people, taping sex trafficking videos, taking pictures of people naked and sharing and selling them to people. They obtained and dispensed kiddie porn of little kids going potty. My grandkids use the bathroom. Photoshopping a shower scene as part of sextortion. Then they were human trafficking me. I'd don't wake up with bruises, throwing up, heart racing and affected. And I went to all my family physicians. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Where did all these marks come from? And they're like, did you fall? I said, no. They said, well, maybe you're becoming anemic. And they gave me iron pills for being drugged, being raped. Gave me nauseous pills, headache pills, and pills for I was so infected I could hardly pee. I had to be on creams and pills. Like the guy said in Kohl's yesterday, for her to be that infected, they had to have been raping her and human trafficking her. They better do something about this. Everybody ought to be furious that a drug cartel are running scams on private citizens. You can't hire a stalker. You can't follow people around. You can't say anything. You cannot intimidate them. You cannot mock them and make them feel unsafe anywhere. You cannot watch somebody in their home. It's stalking. It's peeking toms. It's voyeurism. You get listed as a sex offender. You cannot tape them undressed or anything like that. You can't tape little kids going potty, you sickos. Let alone they sold me on porn sites. And then they raped and beat me. Do you realize how sick? Retired Judge Pete, that Bill from the Freemasons, was probably a nephew, and that Michelle, thinking they can be in it with the drug cartel that's human trafficking people, running scams on people. They should have been arrested for opening their own mouth. We have the Fourth Amendment over the House. The Constitution protects you from any of this. Even Officer Reinhardt, even the FBI would go to jail for looking at him. No one could be in your home outside a protected light case with statements. Even the FBI would go to jail. It's entrapment otherwise. You find out what happens when you get arrested. They book you. They bring you in front of a judge to put charges on you. And you've not had your Miranda rights. Everything they have on you gets thrown out. And you get let go. Because they have to tell you have a right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney. If they don't say it, and they can't prove they said it, everything gets thrown out. It's the law. Fourth Amendment, you have the right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person, your own surroundings. Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. The Department of Justice looks at your home as a castle it can't be entered into. So can a drug cartel break in and stalk you, frame you, Photoshop you, or do they go to jail? They should have been arrested the first day. No searches, no seizure, but upon probable cause, warranted, you have to have a court order, of the people, places, and things to be searched and seized. So where's a court order? They didn't have one. They had no right breaking in my home, running a human trafficking scam off me. They should have been arrested the first day instead of them mocking a human trafficking victim that they were being framed. So now that they have made the FBI look like fools and then sell it across the nation of them mocking them. This is our nation's disgrace of the legal system. I'm going to upload this.